There's a lot of things happening in our world that's causing a lot of people to experience scarcity, especially when it comes to money and other life-giving resources. Real scarcity, as in they're unsure now of income or unsure of aid or unsure of assistance. Maybe they've been laid off. There's that type of scarcity. And then there's the scarcity that has us believe abundance isn't available to us, that has bought into a consumer consumption accumulation model for abundance at an individual and a collective level that creates unnecessary scarcity for other people. You see, it's not that enough resources for all human beings to live a rich and rewarding life aren't available. They are. It's just that they're not being distributed. They're not flowing around this planet that we live in a way that supports life and abundance for all. And here's the thing. Abundance by its very nature is a collective experience, not an individual experience. You think about how nature works. You know, a zucchini plant in my garden cannot produce a zucchini by itself. It is connected to something bigger. It receives resources from other sources, the sun, the earth, the rain, the bees and pollinators that pollinate it. So many things are needed for a zucchini to blossom and produce fruit and seeds, yes? And the same is true for us. But in the world we live in, that model for abundance and money that we've inherited, that's a byproduct of the archetype of scarcity that I talk about all the time. We think of it as an individual experience, and abundance is about accumulating and consuming more and more, and that blocks the flow. I'm on a mission to change the model we have for abundance and money to one that allows resources to flow generously and freely to all, and of course that includes you. Now, when it comes to that consumption, accumulation, abundance is a function of more or lots or plenty. A lot of emphasis comes on like how much money we make. Can I make more money? How can I make more money? Or maybe even how can I save more money? Okay. But two places that people don't like to look at, but it really can transform your relationship with money. It can transform your experience of scarcity around money to one of more abundance and empowerment and freedom and peace, is to realize that income, receiving money, which we all need, is only one part of a distributive, truly abundant model for money. Much like when we breathe in the oxygen that we need, our bodies know how to use that oxygen in ways that supports life and health for our entire body. But when it comes to money, many of us really don't know how to use what we've received in ways that truly support life, health, and well-being for us, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. And how do you know if that's true for you? Well, if the way you're using money has you feel chronically anxious, afraid, guilty, ashamed, embarrassed, stressed, pressure, that's not life, that's not health, that's not well-being. Then there's something going on, probably subconscious, about how you are using money that's really not supporting well-being. Now, speaking of supporting well-being, studies have shown that one of the greatest factors of increasing joy in our lives is when we're able to give, when we're able to support, when we're able to help others. And so when we breathe in that oxygen that gives us life and our bodies utilize it in ways that supports health and well-being, our bodies also know that the next step for us is to exhale out that excess oxygen, that carbon dioxide that gives life to the green things, plants and trees in the world around us. It doesn't give life to us in the direct way. It gives life because by giving life to plants and trees, guess what? They then release oxygen for us to inhale. This is what I mean by a distributive model. It's like it's constantly flowing, these resources. And so an important part of your relationship with money, if you want it to have it be one that really supports abundance for yourself and the world, is yes, you need to know how to use it in ways that supports health and well-being for you, but also for the planet around you, which includes sharing some of what you've received, money and other resources and gifts and talents with the world around you, which doesn't directly maybe give you something, but it connects you with that flow, and you can trust that something will return that will give you life. Now, my specialty is about finding where the blocks are for you, where without realizing it, your fear of scarcity or your belief in scarcity blocks you from the flow and blocks the flow to you, through you and from you. I really specialize in helping people see where they don't really know how to use the money they've been given in ways that truly support health and well-being. Oftentimes, how we're using it actually just perpetuates more scarcity. Thus, the fear, the pressure, the stress, the guilt, the embarrassment, you name it. And of course, then there's that fear of scarcity that has us afraid to share, to give. Because what if we won't have enough? And that too, while there's merit and we need to pay attention to it, we need to know how to use it wisely and how to share it wisely as well. That impulse, like, what if I don't have enough? There's that scarcity again, my friend. Many of the people I work with, the scarcity they experience around money isn't a function of how much they make, isn't a function of how much they save. It goes to how they utilize it and know how to utilize it, and the beliefs, conscious and subconscious, that impact how they utilize it. So if this is resonating with you, if you're thinking, ooh, this is a different model from money versus just trying to make more, save more, spend less so that I can save more, like all of that, and it's resonating with you, and you want to start to develop your relationship with money and abundance based on this distributive model, I would love an opportunity to connect with you and to support you. Because here's the thing, a lot of what's going on in our world right now is showing how and why that accumulative, consumptive model doesn't work. Yeah, it works for a few people. If it's worked for you up until now, I'm happy for you. But here's the thing. If it doesn't work for the majority of human beings, and if it doesn't work for this planet, it won't keep working for you either. We're living in a world where we need to embrace some new models, my friend. And that begins with you and your relationship with money. So if you think there's something blocking, if you'd like me to see where you're blocking yourself from participating in this something bigger, this flow, then schedule a free discovery session with me. Use the link below and let's see how I can support you to experience the abundance that's available to you, but also to be part of the process of creating abundance, continuing the availability of resources for all on this planet so that not only you become more abundant, but so does everyone else, and so does our planet. Because it's possible, my friend. But you need to embrace a new model, and you need to see where your blocks are. Because once we see them, then we can break through them. And that opens up all sorts of new and wonderful and fun, life-giving things, which is what I want for you, my friend. So if you're interested, schedule that free discovery session and let's get to work and see how I can support you, because I know that in supporting you, you will in turn support others. Yes.